Good evening on this May 1st night, and welcome on in for another episode of From Day One. Tonight, we'll start with Carol trying to claim that she's a private attorney general of all things. And we have the calls she's made to two different county clerks. This on August 2nd, 2020.
You don't need to understand it, you just need to write it down. Violations of Title 28-455, where the judge has vested interest, okay, whereby he should have recused himself because he is not impartial, okay? I am a private attorney general, madam, under the laws of Congress.
So you are a private delusional son of a bitch. Got it.
Congress of 1866 and 1979, where all parties out here in the public hold that position, given to us by Congress. The securitization judges retirement program, violation of Title 28-455, where he has a vested interest in prosecuting that name, okay, whereby he should have been recused and recuse himself because he is not impartial, neither is Judge Payne. But I am a private attorney general under the laws of 1866 and 1979. Oh, you can laugh.
Oh, I love that clerk. That clerk gets a nice little Krispy Kreme card.
You're so arrogant. All right, but Congress gave us, we the people, the private attorney general thing. All right, in the 14th Amendment, Section 4 on bounties.
And now we have a man who tries to do it as well.
The one-of-a-kind battle in a Broward courtroom, prosecutors facing off against a man defending himself.
A man who claims he doesn't need a license to practice law, whose arguments would the jury believe. It's tonight's edition of Carmel on the Case.
44-year-old Anthony Williams was all smiles in court, charged with practicing law without a license.
Very simply, the state intends to prove through the presentation of evidence and documents that Mr. Williams is pretending to be a lawyer.
Williams operates an internet-based law firm. He was accused of acting as an attorney after he filed documents in a foreclosure case. Williams calls himself a private attorney general and a sovereign peace officer. Authorities call Williams a sovereign citizen. Believers think many laws do not apply to them.
We can't arrest nobody for traffic violation, but we are.
Last year, Williams posted this video of his arrest for driving without a license.
I'm also a foreign diplomat.
He says he doesn't need one. During that case, which took 8 months to conclude, he was taken to jail twice. First for failure to follow a judge's order, and then later for driving without a license a second time. In the end, he entered a no-contest plea and paid a fine. But then, a month later, Williams was back in handcuffs, this time facing felony charges involving the unlicensed practice of law. When taken into custody at the airport, Williams was carrying his private attorney general ID, the badge, and handcuffs.
Y'all charging me with unlicensed practice of law, and I'm trying to understand what law are you charging me with unlicensed, because there's a whole bunch of law.
At trial, Williams represented himself.
The states have been very deceptive and misleading in what the real law is in the state of Florida.
He spent much of the time arguing with the judge.
And I've never given legal advice. I only give lawful advice. And there's a difference between legal and lawful.
You're arguing apples and oranges.
It took the jury 1 hour before returning the same verdict on all 10 charges.
The defendant is guilty of unlicensed practice of law as charged in the information.
It was bad news for Williams, and it was about to get worse. Judge Andrew Siegel sentenced him to 180 days in jail, 22 years probation, and ordered him to turn over his badges and ID.
He's prohibited from calling himself a private attorney general, an attorney who implying in any which way, shape, or form that he has any ability to practice law.
As his supporters listened, Williams lashed out at prosecutors.
Both y'all state attorneys are crooks. Both y'all fellas are y'all on papers.
Jury will be, I will find out. And both y'all want to dead.
But it is Williams who is in jail now, and he has more to think about than this case. According to authorities, he is currently being investigated for mortgage fraud.
Yeah, doesn't work well when you're an idiot. Alright, let's move on to a sovereign citizen tries to represent himself in court. I think, is that the one we're going to go to? Or are we doing something else? I thought it was a 40-minute clip. Is it not? I guess it isn't. Okay. I thought it was a 40-minute clip when I originally looked at it, but it looks like it's only going to be a 20. Oh, there it is. Sorry. There we go. Courtesy of our good friends over at Van Valiant for this.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is a follow-on from the Sov Cits police chase video. He ended up with a slew of charges and is in court representing himself. And it goes as well as you might expect.
Thank you, man.
I'm here on that matter. She's my witness. She's coming with me. Well, then she can come in.
No, sir.
I'll come in when she can come in. If you're not ready for me, then you're not ready for me.
Man, let me tell you what's going to happen. We're not having a disorder today. Because you disrespect that courtroom. You can't come in. Have a seat, you go in.
I'm not going in without my witness. She's here to witness the fraud in this court. If I can't bring in my witness, I'm not coming in the court. Well, okay, then she's not ready for me. When she calls for me, I'll go in then.
Wow, we're not even in the courtroom yet, and he's already causing trouble. This bodes well for the hearing.
Like I said, I ain't trying to fucking railroad me around. She ain't ready for me. There ain't no reason I can't sit out here just like I said fucking there.
You got something to say and you have a seat in the back.
She walked up with me. She's my witness.
No, you're not. Go that way. Go that way.
Don't be pushing on me.
Go this way.
Why are you assaulting me? Get your hands off of me.
Sir, move out the way.
I didn't like to sit with this bullshit anyhow. Don't be pushing me around. Yeah, that's my witness.
She wasn't even there on the traffic stop. You were on your own. So how can she be your witness?
Good question.
Okay, ma'am, if you'll stand right there. Can you tell her not to touch me? No, just don't walk into her arm, okay? And hold everything. I need everybody to stay right where they are for 1 minute. Can you put us on the record? Okay. For the record, this is State Tennessee versus Gregory Justin Parker, case number 1834881.
Get ready for this long list of charges. It's incredible the amount of offences he committed by refusing to pull over.
Oh my God, really?
Where he's charged with the offense of evading arrest.
What?
8-2, reckless endangerment. 8-3, resisting. 8-4, driving under revoked. 8-6, speeding. 8-7, reckless driving. 8-8, registration. 8-9, texting while driving. 9-0, failure to use due care. 9-1, driving without a license. 9-2, driving without insurance. 9-3, registration violation. And 9-5, retaliation.
13.
witnesses that are going to testify. You said you're going to testify, ma'am.
She's here to witness the proceedings.
Okay. Are you going to testify? If you're not, you're going to leave the courtroom.
She's here to witness proceedings.
Sir, we are not having any witnesses of proceedings now due to COVID regulations.
What's all these other people in here?
Looks to me like they're all there to testify. Your quote-unquote witness isn't.
4 witnesses in the courtroom. And so if you're going to testify, raise your right hand. If not, okay, then you need to step outside. Sir, if you'll step forward.
Before I cross this bar, I waive no rights and I retain all my rights.
Okay. Now, sir, before we start this hearing, I need you to tell me whether or not you have an attorney to represent you. Do you
I don't have an attorney. I have no need for one.
Now, do you wish me to appoint you an attorney for this preliminary hearing? If you don't wish to have an attorney, I need you to waive your rights.
I'm not waiving any rights.
Listen to that. The judge is trying to help him, but all he hears is the words "waive your rights," and he instantly thinks that's a bad thing. He doesn't understand that in order to properly represent himself, he needs to waive
the right for representation.
Standby counsel will be appointed, which he will also whine about.
Yes, he will.
Okay. Well, you either will have an attorney or you will waive your rights.
I will not accept an attorney and I will not waive any rights either.
Okay.
I have a right to be here.
It's not a choice, dear.
To represent you today.
I do not accept representation. I do not need representation.
Do not talk.
I am competent.
Quiet, sir.
Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender. He does not want anybody to represent him, but since he refuses to waive his right to an attorney, I am appointing an attorney only as an armchair counsel for
I
this
do not
hearing.
accept this.
Do you
not
wish to
consent for
talk
this.
to your attorney?
Well, waive your right to an attorney then. The judge
Correct.
gave you the 2 options available to you, and you chose neither.
You chose C. I'm an idiot.
Your attorney that I've appointed.
No. I do not accept him to speak a word on my behalf either.
Okay. I'm just going to have one of the public defenders
be available with that.
that be available to him.
I don't have no use for you.
Okay. He has no use for the public defender, but since any
I am
review
confident.
court that looks at this will understand, I am appointing him a public defender. as an
Against my
armchair
will
since
and
he
against my
refuses.
consent.
It's not a matter of will or consent. This is for your benefit and to protect your rights.
Which he's too stupid to realize.
Understand that.
To waive his right. Now, sir, if you at some point decide to testify in this hearing, I assume you would like a jury trial. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the only trial I do accept is a jury trial. I do not accept
And
these
so
sham
in
proceedings.
order to get this case to criminal court, you first have the right to have a preliminary hearing, and so that's what you're about to have is your preliminary hearing. So all witnesses that are going to testify, if you will, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Parker, the way this will proceed, General Denny will ask Trooper Harry any questions. After he asks him questions, you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions that you so desire. You may ask.
State your full name. And are you employed with the Tennessee Highway Patrol? Yes, I am. What duties are you assigned in the Highway Patrol? Traffic patrol. Okay, what area of the state are you currently assigned? Now I'm going to direct your attention back to the events of March the 29th of this year. In the vicinity of Highway 27, somewhere around 6 p.m., did you encounter a red Chevy truck on the highway roadway? Could you just explain the circumstances?
Hey, since you're guerrilla recording this, shut the fuck up while I was talking so the rest of us can hear what's going on.
Of your original encounter with this red Chevy truck? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was traveling north on 27 and saw the red truck coming south on 27 at a high rate of speed. And I confirmed the speed with my radar to be 91 and 65.
91.
Caught up to the vehicle, which is now traveling in a construction zone at 81 miles per hour and 45.
And yes, we actually have the dash cam.
It's a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883, 27 South Malone.
This guy is booking. And not giving a shit about the cop behind him with sirens blowing.
Yeah, I believe he's looking for a safe place to pull over.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, the cop thought this was just an everyday routine traffic stop at that point. He had no idea you had no intention of pulling over. So I don't know why you think this proves your point, because you didn't stop when you had the chance.
By the way, exit lane's over there, and you avoid it.
Our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now, traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
Yes, but that's not where he said you were doing 91 or 81, is it? He said he clocked you at 91 as you were driving south and he was driving north. Then he turned around, caught up to you while you were travelling through a construction zone. That's when he said you were doing 81 in a 45. There is no construction zone in the part of the video you showed us. You have the dashcam footage, but up to now you've only released part of it. Why is that?
Because he's an idiot, Van.
I activated my emergency equipment and the traffic stop. The vehicle changed lanes, signaling, and it slowed down to a respectable speed. It was still over the 45 speed limit in the construction zone, but it was much more respectable.
We don't know if he is lying, because you didn't post that part of the dashcam video, even though you have it in your possession. Again, why is that?
Again, because he's an idiot.
Dispatch. I ran the tag. The tag was a...
Oh, by the way, the fucking idiot's trying to put captions, now calling the cop liar, liar, perjurer.
Texas tag displayed on a red pickup, and the tag came back to a Nissan out of Texas.
So the tag ain't even right.
And the truck did not match the truck. My dispatch asked me to notify them when the vehicle had stopped. The vehicle continued to travel south on 27. The dispatch asked me if I was in pursuit. At the time, I stated to them, no, I believed that he was going to stop. But the vehicle continued past several exits and shoulders, including a grass shoulder. Then I notified my dispatch that I was in pursuit of the vehicle. The vehicle continued on 27, getting on the 24, and then exited off 24, continuing to pass by parking lots, shoulders, stopping at a stop sign, making a right turn on the 25th.
Well, video doesn't lie, and it shows you passing one exit, then refusing to stop after that. It was only the traffic lights that brought you to a stop.
This again from the footage that he decided to release. He's blown through a lot of stop signs, getting on the surface roads. And it's only the red light in
Eventually,
traffic
the
ahead of
vehicle
you.
stopped at a stoplight. That's when I exited my patrol car, and I felt like this was the opportunity to end the pursuit before anything else happened. So I exited my patrol car, went up to the vehicle. As I was going to the vehicle, I was giving commands for him to stop and exit the vehicle. He was refusing all commands. I took out my baton, broke the window, and had to remove him by force.
And there it is. Trying to pull on the door, you refusing,
Including
and then had to break the window.
unlocking the door, removing his seatbelt, bringing him out of the vehicle. Once he was out of the vehicle, he refused to get on the ground, so he was put on the ground by force and taken into custody.
Okay, what distance would you estimate you traveled after you engaged your emergency equipment before coming to a complete stop at the red light? What distance was that?
A long ways.
It was approximately a mile, I would say.
So he traveled more than a mile or a mile?
Yes.
After you engaged your emergency equipment?
Oh, no. After I engaged my emergency equipment, it was probably somewhere between 2 and 3 miles.
2 to 3 miles.
2 to 3 miles.
The speeds during the pursuit?
I believe I can tell you what the top speed was.
If you would, just refer to your notes to refresh your recollection.
Sure. It was as high as 63 miles per hour. 221, our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now, traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
This doesn't mean you weren't doing 63 during other parts of the pursuit.
That was him trying to put
have?
this video up. Yes, it probably is all he has.
Yes, sir.
Now, you originally stated, I think, in your testimony that he was doing 91 and a 65 according to your radar.
Your speed was 90 and a 65, and you did not stop. You had plenty of places to stop.
Well, that's a good question. A question a lawyer would know to ask.
Yes, sir.
What speed was he traveling in the construction?
81.
And what's the speed limit in a construction zone?
That particular construction zone was 45.
81 and a 45 in the construction zone?
Yep.
Well, you could just post the full dashcam video you have in your possession, instead of just parts you think help your cause.
Correct. You could.
Now, once you were able to bring him into your custody, as you described, were you able to investigate further what was going on?
Yes.
What did you find out?
Well, he had his cell phone in his hand when I was at the window, and later on he had stated to me that he started live streaming on Facebook when I was behind him. I also found that he was revoked. His revoked status was revoked for DUI. There was no insurance on the vehicle. The registration was expired, but the plate that he had on the vehicle did not match the vehicle itself.
That's probably why.
A photocopy here in court with you of a plate that he may have had affixed to the vehicle that was of suspect or dubious nature.
Well, he had one that was displayed in the window.
Right, if I could see it. So this plate was displayed in a window of the Chevy truck.
Yes.
Which window?
There was only one on the back. It was
Okay.
a full back window.
Okay. I'm going to show this to the defendant so that he can view it. I'm going to ask.
And it's one of the sovereign citizen private plates.
State testimony and move its introduction
Sir, is there any objection to that?
No.
Okay.
It's nice little notice, isn't it?
I'm sorry, sir?
It's a nice notice, isn't it?
Okay. I'll make that exhibit.
So, when you found out that there was no proper registration to the vehicle and that he had this device, did you charge him with some sort of registration misuse violation?
Yes, I did.
What was the basis of that?
Because the tag that was displayed on the vehicle did not match the one that was on the truck, so he was misusing the registration using one that was not for the vehicle itself. The one out of Texas came back to, I believe, a 2008 gray Nissan.
Now, you charged evading arrest because of the 2 to 3 mile chase, correct?
Yes, because he refused to stop.
And you also charged him with reckless endangerment. Is that based upon the overall driving that occurred during the periods that you followed him?
All of it, putting when he refused to stop and the pursuit continues, it puts my life at risk, his life, everyone else on the roadway, including pedestrians that could be in the crosswalk or on the sidewalk.
Yeah, really, he's gonna fucking show the damn dash cam video again.
It's a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883.
Oh, by the way, this isn't me adding in these pursuit clips. He's doing it as a rebuttal to the officer's testimony. But all he's doing is showing a video where he's putting himself, the officer, and other road users
in danger.
But he sees this as some kind of gotcha, because pedestrians aren't on the highway.
This is also at a time when, kids may have been walking home from school.
On Highway 27.
So let me just ask you, you charged resisting. I know you've already testified that he physically resisted your attempts there at the stop line. Could you describe whether he used physical force to resist you?
Just passive resistance.
Okay. So he just would not cooperate with anything. I think you had to extract him from the driver's seat.
Yes,
did you have to disconnect a seatbelt or something to that effect to get him out?
Well, the seatbelt did have to be removed from him. The door had to be unlocked. I had to open it myself.
And you had to break open the window to even get to him?
Yes.
This may be part of the reckless endangerment and the speeding, but you charged in addition reckless driving itself. Is that more or less based on the speed of 91 and a 65, or is there more to it?
Yes, sir. The construction zone, and the pursuit, everything, all the above.
Did he have a driver's license with him?
No, he did not.
Were you able to find anything about his driver's license other than it appeared to have been revoked for a prior DUI?
What a surprise, a Sov Cits with a revoked driver's license, and for DUI. And you have the nerve to call this officer out on a few speeding discrepancies and inconsistencies that don't appear to be true anyway. Oh, and this nonsense on the screen doesn't apply to this situation.
No, just
he put some nonsense.
Dispatch.
He put some nonsense up about jurisdiction, which he hasn't actually brought up in the case, but he figures that now would be the time to try to be a gotcha against the officer.
This information was going through dispatch.
One of the things that you charged him here was failure to exercise due care. What's the basis of that charge?
Basically, it's just a lesser form of the reckless driving, based on the fact that he's failure to exercise due care.
Shut up, sir.
All of the motorists, myself, himself.
Not you, officer. You continue.
People or pedestrians on the roadway. I believe he's looking for a safe place to pull over.
No, dude, you're not helping yourself.
221, our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now, traffic is clear.
Dude, you're not helping yourself.
I really don't know why you keep splicing in these cherry-picked clips to try to undermine the officer's testimony, because it shows you speeding and failing to stop.
And I think another offense you charged is texting while driving. I know you said he was live streaming, or he told you he was live streaming during the pursuit. Was he also texting?
It was the same TCA code as the hands-free law, so I charged him with hands-free and wrote hands-free on the end of it.
Okay, so the actual live stream could have, the way he was positioned was not done in a fashion that his hands were free?
We had his cell phone in his hand.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
I notice you didn't try to rebut the cell phone claim. Pretty hard to, as your own video shows the phone in your hand while you're in the driver's seat. Instead, you throw up this Sov Cits nonsense about the license being a contract, and a case that has nothing to do with your situation because you are being tried in the state where you committed those crimes.
Now, the retaliation charge, is that based on something that happened post-arrest?
Yes. In the back of the patrol car, he had stated to me that if I continued my actions, if I continued to do my job and proceed with the arrest, that he would take action against me.
And did he say what form that action would be?
I'd have to go back and look at the video.
USC 42, 1983.
Yes, let's all listen to the part where you warn the cop you're coming after him if he continues with this.
Oh, we have that?
Chattanooga, anybody did mess with them. They impounded my truck, took it to the lot, and said it was state of Tennessee. They ended up giving me back my truck, didn't charge me nothing. I had to come get it from their property. They couldn't do nothing with it. And what I'm letting you know, brother, is if we continue with this, you're giving me grounds where I can come after you. You don't have immunity anymore when you're acting outside of your oath. And I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I didn't do it with the last guys because, I am one. I believe in forgiveness. But I can't allow this stuff to keep happening to me because it does bring a lot of hardship on me. And I will have to start, getting made right again because this is causing harm against me and my family. And I could forgive this. But if we go through all steps, I will have, you don't have the qualified immunity once you're acting outside the scope of your authority, brother. I promise you, I'm not just trying to talk my way out of this or nothing. I'm literally giving you a warning right now that, you are violating my rights right now. Without there being a victim, you can't just take me to jail without a warrant.
Did he quote Uniform Commercial Code or some sort of United States Code law to you?
He was. Yes, he was.
All right. Now, did you have any other officers with you by the time you encountered him there at the place he stopped at the red light?
No, not until after he was in custody.
So you were by yourself through the entire trip?
Yes, I was.
And all this did happen in Hamilton County?
Yes, it did.
Did the defendant ever offer to you any explanation why he did not respond to your emergency equipment?
He said he was going to stop, and he said that he was going to pull into the gas station. And I said, but you didn't, because he passed by the gas station entrance. So I do not believe he had any intention to stop.
That's all I have at this time. I turn the witness over.
Okay, Mr. Parker, you may ask this trooper any.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Alright, get ready for the Sov Cits stuff. I know it's taken a while to properly get to it, but it's definitely worth the wait.
Yeah, when did you come to the determination I was driving?
When I got behind you and you're behind the wheel of the vehicle.
What evidences do you have to make you come to that determination that I was driving?
Ask and answer.
I think that's been answered, sir. You can ask your next question.
What evidences did he have that I was driving, other than being on the road, because there's other uses of the road besides just driving?
You may ask your next question, sir.
Do you know the difference between a right and a privilege?
Yes, I do.
Can you elaborate a little bit what a difference in a right and a privilege would be?
Well, for one, nobody has the right to drive. It's a privilege, and that privilege can be taken away from you at any time.
Good answer.
You know the difference between the driving and traveling and how it's defined and the codes?
I'm going to object to that question because it's irrelevant under the state law.
That's completely irrelevant.
I'll sustain the objection. You may ask your next question, sir.
Busted.
You obviously don't, because travelling is a right, driving is a privilege. Always has been, always will be.
Correct.
Do you swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution?
Yes.
And on that day, what did you say you witnessed me doing on Highway 27 as you were passing me? I just thought you just told him you witnessed me traveling southbound 27 as you was traveling northbound.
Object to the use of the word traveling.
I was traveling north on 27 and I was traveling north on 27 and I was traveling north on 27.
Yeah, this is not helping you.
That's his statement. I'm just reiterating what he just said. When he witnessed
I
it.
recall his testimony he said driving.
Well, not to get too pedantic here, but he did say travelling, but he wasn't using it in the same context as you. Sov Cits love playing those word games.
Who was the victim in this situation?
I'm going to object to the relevance of that. They say the victim doctrine.
How can the state be a victim? Can the state testify? Can I bear witness of the state?
I would ask that you direct the witness that he ask questions of the witness and not the counsel in the office.
I'm asking the court, where is the state? Can I not ask who made the claim? Who's the injured party that made the claim?
Yeah, and here it goes off the rails.
Well,
The next question, it's a question directed at him. Now,
who is the injured party that made the claim?
Objection, Your Honor. We've already stated
sustained, that is not relevant. You may ask your next question, sir.
This is not a conspiracy to violate your rights. This is you not understanding your rights. Big difference.
And he throws up a slide for Class C misdemeanor does not equal crime if two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in the state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district of the free exercise or enjoyment of any right and privilege secured to him by the constitutional laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned no more than 10 years, or both, by USC 18. And no, that doesn't apply.
I ain't playing y'all's game no more. Go ahead, do what you do. No, that's fine. Just remember, I do have all the dash cam and body cam video for everything you've said. You just perjured yourself.
Okay, using the word. I don't think I miss what you think I miss.
It definitely doesn't.
You have a question between the case number 1834891 is driving without a license,
right,
and 1834884 is driving on a revoked driver's license.
I think it's covered under the driving on revoke. It's a greater charge. The other one would be a lesser included there.
It appears to be charge stacking on that.
Dismiss the driving without a license.
Can we confirm this Burger is not wishing to engage in cross-examination?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he said he is through with our game.
Yeah, I don't participate in fraud.
Okay.
I kind of like that this judge doesn't get triggered or rise to his sniping. It's quite refreshing.
So this is August 24th, and I'm going to dismiss at the preliminary hearing this one charge of driving on a revoked driver's license.
I'd like to enter some documents in the
Of course you would.
Wrong yet again. He clocked you driving 92 in a 65. That gives him all the probable cause he needs. You cemented that even further when you refused to stop. End of.
Sir, I'm going to let the DA, so obviously you haven't had an opportunity to put on any proof, but you said you were through with us. And so do you wish to put on any proof in this preliminary hearing?
proof of what?
Anything. Do you wish to testify?
Yeah, I'm not putting out. I've challenged the jurisdiction from and the jurisdiction. Yes, I get that. But in order to proceed with anything, this court has got to establish jurisdiction. Actually, the prosecution has to establish jurisdiction, and no one has. Neil Pinkston has it. None of his attorney general, assistant attorney general, This gentleman's employers, these gentlemen, nobody, so we're standing here without anyone claiming any jurisdiction. The violation of due process.
Do you have any questions that you want to ask this witness, or do you wish to testify? Those are the only things that...
What jurisdiction do you have over me?
Sir.
That's a question directed towards him. Is that what you asked?
Not relevant. We're through.
Oh, no, it's not relevant.
Stop putting your fucking cards up that mean nothing.
Do you have any questions? Do you want to put on any testimony at all yourself? Do you wish to testify?
I will say this court has acquiesced. Sir.
Yeah, stop putting the same fucking card up,
Do you have any questions? Do you want to put on any testimony at all yourself? Do you wish to testify?
I will say this court has acquiesced on the fact there is no jurisdiction. That is a statement. She asked me if I have a statement. I just made a statement.
And have any witnesses. So I find that there's probable cause to believe that all these crimes were committed, and they were committed by this defendant here in this county.
There you go. She's just ruled that there was probable cause and on your jurisdiction challenge, all in one sentence. But I won't expect you to pick up on that.
No, he won't.
And I will bind these papers over to the grand jury. Sir, stay in touch with your bondsman. They'll notify you if you are indicted which courtroom to appear in front of this courtroom.
Make sure they do, too.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am,
Your Honor, those were not introduced into evidence. And
I was trying to. He wouldn't let me give them to you. They let me give them to you. So.
I cannot let
all right, I'll just believe you said you're done. All right, that's fine. I retain all my rights and don't waive any before I cross this bar.
Correct.
Right now, you're going to let me talk, okay? Your case was set on the 130 docket because that's the settlement docket, and I take it that you don't want to settle your case. Is that correct?
No, there is no case. It's void ab initio.
Answer my questions. It's yes or no. You don't want to settle your case, correct?
No, it's void.
Okay. Well, it's not void.
I'm not sure who the gentleman is. I asked for Mr. Parker at home, and he was not identified.
Okay. Sir, whether you identify as Mr. Parker or not, that's the name that you were charged under. Is that correct?
That's the name y'all wrote down.
Okay. And you were present when that name was written down, correct?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so he's the individual that this officer arrested.
Alex, no, I'm not that. I'm not that.
Now, the next step is, I guess this needs to be set for a preliminary hearing, is that correct? And so let's pick a day. You don't want that this afternoon, I trust.
I think that's going to be pretty quick.
Okay, so the gentleman that has been charged is Mr. Parker. This is an afternoon docket. The afternoon dockets in this courthouse are settlement only. My understanding is you wish to have a preliminary hearing. Actually, you wish to say this is void.
It is void, and I've challenged the jurisdiction of this court, the DA's office, his office, sheriff's office. Nobody's claimed any jurisdiction or authority over me.
I told you he wouldn't pick up on the judge ruling on the jurisdiction argument.
Stop talking when I'm talking. That's what you do in a hearing. And so, if you want, are you going to have a lawyer to represent you?
He's not that smart, Your Honor.
So we can do your hearing today, right now, or we can do your preliminary hearing on a morning docket where we're supposed to have them done. So do you choose this afternoon or another morning?
I choose this stuff to be dismissed because it's void, but if I have any, I need more time so I can put more paperwork, because I got claims against this gentleman over here for the crimes he committed against me.
I see you're going through with the threats to retaliate against the cop who stopped you. I guess you must enjoy prison food.
Yes, he does.
Because that's in a civil court. I'm a criminal court.
Yeah,
but I will
criminal claims, not civil claims.
Okay. So listen to me at this moment, okay? The next time you come into my courtroom, it will be for a preliminary hearing. You should be ready for that hearing with a lawyer or ready to represent yourself. Okay, those will be your only two choices. You will have a preliminary hearing.
You will either represent yourself or have a lawyer. Those are the questions I'm going to ask you at that date, okay? Now, let's pick a date that everybody is available for this hearing.
Is anybody making any claim of any authority or jurisdiction? Been over 3.
By the way, coming up next, I have a New Zealand officer who really doesn't put up with any Sov Cits madness, but that's coming up once we conclude this clip.
3 months and I had not wrong response to any of that. And I think y'all have a duty to answer those.
Sir, we do not have a duty to do anything until we are in a hearing, and we're not in a hearing now. You can, I know you filed the motion, I will get here.
No, I didn't file no motion.
Will you
It's
file
a demand.
something?
It's a demand.
A demand for jury.
For jurisdiction. And nobody's claimed any.
It's a motion, I will treat it as a motion.
No, it's not a motion, it's a demand. That's the difference.
It's an idiot. It's a difference. He's an idiot, Your Honor.
8:30 courtroom 3. Okay. August 24th, 8:30, courtroom 3. And sir, that will be your hearing date, okay? I will see you on that date. Prepare for your hearing. Thank you, you may.
Alright. You can't challenge jurisdiction until we have a hearing. What the fuck we sitting here doing? Told them, oh, you need more time? No, I don't need more time. Miss. This is Boyd. Ben Boyd. Oh, you claim this Boyd?
Unfortunately for you, you don't get to determine that. That's the judge's job.
Yes, it
so
is.
You might want to keep her on side instead of sniping and talking over her. She was trying her best to help you, even dropping a few charges. But I don't expect you to appreciate any of that.
No, of course not.
Right, that's it for another video. I really do hope you enjoyed it as much as me. Thank you so much for watching. I will of course keep an eye on his channel.
Alright, so let's head on over to the land of the
Welcome back to the
Kiwis.
channel, guys. Today we are heading down under to New Zealand to cover a sovereign citizen going up against 2 no-nonsense cops with 2 very well-developed bullshit detectors. So they are not interested in debating any of his pseudo-legal arguments, which really frustrates him, because he's got all his paperwork in a binder ready to go. He claims to be a Kaitiaki diplomat because he purchased a $50 card from a website that claims to give you diplomatic immunity.
Wait a minute. Kaitiaki? What the fuck is Kaitiaki? Hold on. Name Ratokazad Kuzi. Position Kaitiaki diplomat. Origin 00 of 0. Valid till December 31st, 2038. C pass. What the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck?
Diplomatic immunity. It sounds a lot like those American national or state national cards being sold by those fake embassies in the US right now, where they recruit new members and then send them out into the world to cause chaos. Until, of course, they come up against cops like the one in today's video. Let's get into it.
Please, let's get into it.
Can I hold that for me? Kia ora, mate. I'm a Kaitiaki diplomat, and this is a jurisdictional matter. That's all cool. Do you acknowledge common law as a jurisdiction in New Zealand? Oh, you don't acknowledge that? Well, I have a public servant questionnaire here for you to fill out. I don't answer questions until you fill out my public servant questionnaire, which you're legally obligated to fill out, my friend. Well, could I get your supervisor down here then? I'd like you to fill that out before I answer any more questions. It's a public servant questionnaire which you're legally obligated to fill out.
I'm not, and I'll just tell you again, mate. You need to give me your name, address, date of birth, and provide your driver's license, otherwise the chance you'll be arrested.
I have here with me an unrebutted affidavit with proof. Okay. I have with me an unrebutted affidavit here with proof.
Yeah, you want to know the reason why your affidavit went unrebutted? Well, it's because affidavits are not the magical instruments you believe them to be. They need pesky little things like facts and evidence to back them up.
Correct.
I'd like you to read this. This has a personal fee schedule attached to it that invokes personal and commercial liability. I think you need to read it.
I don't think we do.
Oh, well, I can't do that.
Not really working out that well for you, is it? I wonder why that is. Could it be because the police are not legally required to respond to or facilitate any of your deluded beliefs? That includes filling out your stupid questionnaire or reading that useless affidavit.
I don't obtain a license, but I'm under common law jurisdiction, mate, and it actually states here under legislation that you acknowledge common law. I have an official Information Act request from the police, and I don't wish to conduct business with your corporation.
I'm New Zealand Police. We're all New Zealand Police, so that's a different place.
No, it's not. No, it's not, my friend. Here's a official Information Act request that says that the police do acknowledge common law as a jurisdiction, and I'm under common law, which is no victim, no crime. So if you can produce me a victim, then we have a crime.
The police do recognise common law, they just don't recognise your magical fantasy version that you've just willed into existence. Much of New Zealand's law, such as its common law tradition and constitutional framework, has been inherited from the English legal system. Basically, judges make legal decisions based on previous judges' decisions, as well as on statutes, written law, passed by Parliament. So this no victim, no crime BS is a fantasy that only exists in the mind of the Sov Cits.
And this can go to court if you'd like as well. I have no option with that. Yeah, it says that they are a listed company under that NZBN, but if you actually look here, do the New Zealand Police acknowledge that New Zealand is a common law jurisdiction? I can further advise that police acknowledges New Zealand is a common law jurisdiction, and especially here that I have this legislation, you are not allowed to open my door. This is my private property.
Cody, stop being a dickhead.
This here, look, I'm under common...
Yep, that's what we've all been saying about sovereign citizens for years now, and finally a cop with a well-developed bullshit detector has no qualms about calling out their nonsense. Unprofessional or not, it needed to be said. Sov Cits need to...
This here, look, I'm under common law.
Stop being a dickhead.
I do have a license.
I love when Kiwis say dickhead.
The state owns it. The state owns my license.
I love when Kiwis say dickhead.
Diplomat. It has my name on it. It has my date of birth. I'm a Kaitiaki diplomat. This has by the UN. This has been stamped by treaty commissions under the UN. I don't. No, I'm not. I have all the adequate paperwork here to state. Yes, I know you have, and I'm no longer a person under the corporation that you guys are under.
The New Zealand law, the Land Transport Act, to present your license. If you do not have a license,
I'm under common law.
refuse to give your details and your name,
well, that has my name.
I'm not taking
that has my name and my details. If you take this and go look my name up, my license, my full license will pop up.
Show me your license.
I don't have my full license on me.
Well, why don't you just say so?
Because I sent it to the Governor General.
What is your name?
Cody of the family.
Now, why can't you just say that? Where do you live?
I live at...
And even though this guy's a dickhead, I am still bleeping that out.
I love this cop. She's the P. Barnes or Lieutenant Cochrane of New Zealand. I've got to start working on that top 10 no-nonsense cops compilation video.
I'm not being a dickhead because I'm not under your guys' jurisdiction anymore. I have an unrebutted affidavit here, and that stands as truth and fact in law. A judge will adhere to this. I'm not off my face. I'm 100% sober. I have my daughter back in my care and I'm subjected to 6-month follicles.
Are you going to stop talking?
So don't tell me about being off my face.
Under the Land Transport
You're off your face.
You are obligated to give your name and details. That's all you needed to do.
Yeah, well, they're all right there.
And I told you I don't recognise that as an ID.
You can take that and punch it into your system and my other ID pops up.
All you needed to do was give me your name.
Yeah, well, I'm not under your guys' jurisdiction anymore. I'm not a corporate entity. I'm a living man.
He's a moron, Your Honor. Moron.
Yeah, well, that is my ID. If you look that up, it will bring my license up under duress, under protest and duress.
Can you please give us your driver's license?
I don't have the card on me, I see.
And that's where the video ends, unfortunately. But this one was more about how the police shut him down and their reactions to his words salad than the outcome of the traffic stop. Though it's always a bit suspicious when the video cuts off before the stop ends. It's like they're trying to hide the end result so they can control a certain narrative. He even ignored comments from his supporters asking him about the outcome. So make of that what you will. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I will catch you in the next one.
My body.
Why are you such a dickhead?
Because he's a dickhead. I love that cop. I just love that cop. By the way, that will bring part 2 to a close tonight. Come on back in the overnight for Art Bell, Anti-Aging Part 3 with the Doctor. Till then, like, share, and subscribe. Get us to the goal of 50,000 views, 1,000 subscribers. Boxy over next year sends us those nice red boxes. And Google puts us on the algorithms. And until then, be kind to one another, release the Krekens, and rock on as we continue to march along this May 1st day from day one. Have a great night. We'll see you in the overnight for Art Bell.